Good morning. We are going live here in Savannah, Georgia on the cusp of Pooler with the new Angel Learning Center. It is an $8 million facility that will concentrate on early learning, and we're going to meet the program director that's going to be having the ribbon cutting at noon today. So come on, let's go meet Sherry Showalter. There's a lot of guests arriving early, the ones that have already signed up to be part of a preschool.
Yeah, if you want to continue on here, there's refreshments for you to enjoy.
So good morning. We are live on Facebook, and this is the program director for the Angel Learning Center.
Welcome.
Yeah, this is a big day for you.
Yes, it is.
We need to remind the viewers that at noon today, we're going to have the ribbon cutting. Both Mayor Eddie Deloche and Mayor Michael Lamb will be at this event.
Yes.
So before everybody shows up,
yes,
let's take a tour of this beautiful facility.
Yes.
Also tell us a little about it.
Okay, this is a 22,000 square foot facility that was made for the community of Savannah and for Pooler. It's a good location right in the center for both, and it allows the families in the community to have a good choice for early childhood education.
So what makes this facility different?
We have a good combination of resources that are provided for teachers, for the families, for the children, so that we are able to give them more than what a typical daycare would. So we advance a little bit more on the children's interest, on the ways that they learn best, and we try to make everything diverse with languages that they could speak. There's 14 that they can choose from.
Did you say 14?
14.
Yes, they are going to be teaching 14 different languages here.
Yes. And so,
does anybody else do that?
No one else does that. We also will have our own gardens where we will grow some of our food that we will make. We have our own chef that will be here, Chef Jen, and she will create the meals fresh for the children every day, no boxed foods. Yes, we're trying to push the healthy side of eating and of living, but showing the children in the process how they do that.
So there's so many studies out about early childhood learning. Elaborate on that.
The greatest period of brain development is from 0 to 5. The children don't really have to learn, they're just absorbing. So in that process, we have understood the importance of bringing them all these different enrichments to grow their minds in ways that interest them. Because everybody has their own things, sports, culinary, art, we all are different in the things that we like. So we want to grow this in the children and expand their views within our center.
Okay, so we're going to have a tour. It's 22,000 square feet. That's got to be one of the largest facilities in Georgia.
One of the largest facilities in Georgia that we can offer.
So that says a lot about our area. I mean, it is on fire. It is expanding.
Yes, ma'am. This is a very good opportunity for families in this community.
All right, Sherry, let's go see the center.
The first stop is going to be the multi-purpose room. You can step in and see the nice high ceilings, the space that we have available. This will be a gymnasium where they will be able to have karate, dance, and the teachers will be able to use the facility throughout the day for different programs if we have inclement weather, and just to keep them moving as much as we need to in the day, because movement is very important to incorporate with our learning and children for the day.
Awesome. Yeah. Beautiful.
This way is the art studio. It's right off the multi-purpose room. We'll take you through this hallway. And here is our art studio. It's just the basics to start with, but we will have children's artwork that will be displayed for what they create on a daily and weekly basis. My teachers have the availability to keep very good ratios in the classroom because they have other avenues to go to expand their lesson plans and to give the children a sense of a different room and something that can help them grow and really feel good about the work that they do and display that on a regular basis. Next, we will just come down to the general open area, but we're going to start with our youngest room. It's a very long hallway because we are a big facility. But we have public bathrooms. But we start our center off with our young babies, our infants. At 6 weeks of age, they can come in. We'll we'll show you one model room that we have available. If you come this way. Although you can't see it, the one thing that is important to keep the children calm, we do have speakers and stereos that allow for the children to hear nature sounds and ocean sounds through the background. We have the cribs that are available to them that will have each of their names engraved on the different cribs just to feel the sense of a personable touch. We also have a lot of area for them to be able to move, belly time, to divide the teachers so they are at a 1-to-3 ratio. You can't beat that. A lot of people drive to South Carolina to get a better ratio that live in Georgia. So here now we have the ratio of 1-to-3, which is very important for infants at that age, very crucial, so that we are able to expand both their social emotional growth through their interactions with that teacher, through the physical movement throughout the day, and just to give them a different variety of things to be able to use and to move throughout the day, even for the small babies.
I love the blue.
Yes, the blue is great, and the windows. Okay, moving along. Here we go. Going down, we are going to hit the 1-year-old rooms. These children are 1 to 2 years of age. They are close in proximity. We have 2 classrooms for each age. We're just showing models of one of each of the classrooms for today. And to this room, again, they have the ability to see outside on a regular basis. We feel that's very important. They have room to move and grow their physical development. There are always books, at least 20 books in every classroom, if not more, for the children to read on a regular basis. We keep the rocking chair so that they have the one-on-one experience with the teachers. We do keep the safety gates up so they can't travel one classroom to the next, but we do allow for our staff to be able to help each other out and communicate with things that go on throughout the day. They have their own little art area as well, and then they also have sand and water to be able to have in the classroom as well as outside, right outside the door. They have their ability to go out and play and get some natural environments. They're able to go on stroller walks with their teachers and able to have interactions both inside and outside on a regular basis. Very important.
So if somebody is watching this, how would they register to have their children?
Okay, so we both have registrations online on our website, and then you can talk to us through Facebook. We're very good to respond with that. We now have receptionists on site. If they want to stop in and get an enrollment packet, they could do that as well if they call the site and visit us next week. But our most important time right now we're opening up is today from 12 to 2. This is the first time.
They can come on down
They can come on down now, talk to us, come see the facility for themselves, and be Yes. Here. Sneak. Okay, down the hallway we'll move on to our older toddlers, which are starting to hit our 2 to 3-year-olds. Big long hallway like we said, but on the way there I'll stop and let you know this is another thing that makes us unique. We do have a nursing station. We have a nurse that's on staff. Even though our rooms are not fully equipped yet, she will have a place for the child to sit or to sleep if needed. She has her own computer that she will be able to log in all the incidents that happen throughout the day, track the child's health. She will be in and out of the classrooms on a daily basis to interact with the children. So if need be, any need was to happen, that she would be able to recognize them. They recognize her face. They feel comfortable that the health is taken care of their child, and the parents have a direct contact to speak about the health of their child. And it benefits the teachers because they're able to stay focused on the children, and the nurse is able to have that contact more often with the parents to keep track and make sure that the children are feeling well, they're able to return. It keeps the whole center healthy, and then just to have questions as needed answered by someone who has that background.
So how many people will be employed here?
If we were full capacity, we could have up to 50 employees. Right now, to open and start with, we'd probably be at 25. As we would start to fill and go through between all our enrichment programs, it would take us about 50 employees to be able to man the entire facility.
And I know you've had a lot of interviews. I mean,
Yes,
every position is filled, or
So I've
are
been
you
doing for
still?
2 weeks. I'm still looking for hires. There's still some assistant positions that are needed, and for some of the enrichment programs in the afternoon as well. So they can either register through the website. There's a place for teachers for employment and careers with us, or they can again talk through Facebook. I've had several people of interest show that way, and then email me their resumes. And then again, always stopping by to get an application from the receptionist or to speak to me directly.
And what kind of teachers are you looking for?
They have to have a strong sense of early childhood, what is developmentally appropriate for their ages, for each age and stage. They have to be able to explain to me in a situation with children what it should look like, what is a healthy environment, what is educationally stimulating and very productive on a regular basis.
I know you've got a very impressive background. You actually moved up here from Florida to be part of this.
I did.
Tell us
I
about
left
that.
a very good job. I loved my job. I had great camaraderie with my colleagues, but when you see a really good opportunity, you don't pass it up. And just as I would feel this for any other parent, this is a great move for me and my family, for what the community offers, for what the center offers, and for what the impact it will have on children. And for 20 years in education and studying training and curriculum, it's important. People need to know, families need to know how important those ages 0 to 5 are. That is the future, and impacts the future of their schooling, and impacts the future of who they are as people, and we need to invest more time in that.
There's so many studies out on it. The Harlem study, just how crucial it is.
Right.
Parents have to be, or daycares have to be talking to and doing all these types of programs that you guys are doing.
Right.
So, okay, let's continue down on the tour.
So we were heading to our 2-year-old room. Okay, this is a stop into our 2-year-old room. We give them a little bit more space as they are getting bigger. Again, we tend to be able to always have stations where they can read and write. And we are at full raw status. We want you to understand, orientation brings a whole new view, because the teachers have their flair, of what they're able to put into the classroom themselves. When you get the children's faces and who actually is in this room, it actually becomes their home, and it will become more personable. So this is us in our rawest form, but to really show the abilities that we have to share with the resources. Every back door of the classrooms go out to the playgrounds that are age appropriate for the children. So they will have fences between which ages are smaller, so our 0 to 1s have a section, our 2 to 3s have a section, our 3 and 4s,
from
and
Angel
our 4
Learning
and 5s.
Center.
Yes, come see us, come tell us a story. So for each room being very appropriate to the age of the children, and for the resources that the teachers have to be able to work with them. You'll see a little bit more as we go into each room, and how it starts to intensify for some of the actual hands-on materials that they have, and the educational software that's available as well.
So the value that people will get with their tuition is equivalent to what did Washington, D.C. say?
There have been in Washington, near Atlanta, several different larger cities that offer the same educational programs that we have, the enrichments, the quality of teachers, and the curriculums, and they charge anywhere from $400 to $600 a week. We don't even come close to touching that. So although it may be a different price than what is in the community, we also, this is a big step up for what is offered, and all the things that go into it. We want it to be a place where the parents have a chance to feel good. They feel safe with the cameras, being able to see into every classroom. They feel good about the communication, able to reach us, whether it's me, the director, the receptionist at the front, able to answer a lot of the questions. And each teacher has an iPad in their classroom for daily communication and updating up to the minute conversations with parents if they really need to get in contact for any reason. So,
beautiful.
Yes, very nice.
Beautiful. All right, where are we heading next?
Another specialty room that a lot of places don't have. My teachers are just loving that they have access to. And this is our infant and toddler gross motor room. We know that children who move, it accelerates their brain capacity. It creates greater connections in their minds. And with that, we have to offer that, and we can't just offer it in the same 4 walls. We have to be able to give them a place where they can go and expand their their curiosities, to challenge their bodies, and for teachers to be able to have smaller groups and work one-on-one with the children. It's not a free-for-all room. It's actually a room that is focused on different stages of movement and how they grow in their physical development.
I love the blue. Is there a reason you all picked the blue?
Each color is a representation of our logo. So
Okay.
the way that the rooms were chosen, one, more of the natural bluer colors for the walls are calming. If you have too much of the reds and the yellows in the backgrounds, it's proven that it creates more chaos. Even though you want bright, colorful toys, that's different because that's where the stimulation is happening. But when you're really talking about the four walls and what is the security for children, it's supposed to be more calming and more neutral, just as you would be in your natural environment.
Beautifully thought out. Okay.
All right, moving on to our older classrooms. Another long hallway, because we do have to man our size. The facility was created with the age of the children in mind, so each of the classrooms are manned for the amount of space that the children can be. So there are some places who try to put a lot of high numbers into a classroom that's not created with the square footage for that amount of children. And here the rooms were designed for that, for just the space, the max number that could be in the room. So we can't play with our numbers. They will stay true to our teacher-child ratios the way it should be.
Beautiful.
Yes. We'll show you a little bit more of our Hatch program, which is our early learning strategies. So I'll take you over to some of the interactive boards. So into here, besides the listening stations that we have for reading, but we also have Hatch, which is an early learning program where the teachers have the ability to use it for presentations, the children speaking into microphones, being able to do interactive games as a group. So socially they learn how to talk to each other, but they also learn how to present information, develops language at a higher level. It increases their vocabulary, but it also social-emotionally gives them the confidence to speak and to interact, not be afraid of what they have to say or how they say it, while thinking through. So cognitively making them stronger of how they think and talk at the same time, which we all know can be difficult at different times.
I love how it's actually
Yes.
set lower.
Yes, everything is child size, and it grows. If you have noticed, all the furniture and things grow as the children get older. So not all the furniture and arrangements in here are the same size in each classroom. They all grow to each level. So again, outside you can see the age-appropriate playground that we have for this age level. The children are able to leave through the back door, but again, they're not restricted to just that play area. We have 2 or 3 play areas on site where they can get outside and be active, as well as that multi-purpose room as well. And then we'll go on to our 4-year-old classroom, which will be our oldest, which a lot of people call VPK. We are not funded with state money. We are privately resourced out, so we are able to utilize our own curriculum and utilize the strategies that we have felt that are most important through our research of early childhood education. So into this room as well, you can see that they also have the interactive learning boards that the teachers can utilize. Again, to expand the knowledge one step further, they will have the learning stations as they do in all the other rooms. The educational software, and most people and parents and teachers both, they like the fact that the computer software actually tracks what the children are learning. So at any point in time, if the teachers wanted to utilize it as a resource for are they gaining concepts or certain skills, they can look back at the computers and see what they have tracked, what games have they played or interacted with, and they can see the skills that they have attained through the different levels that they put on, and it is individualized. So if one child is working on a higher set of numbers than another, the teacher can track that. They individually can support what they've done hands-on in the classroom and provide that feedback to the parents as well. So a lot of people like that feature. Yes, ma'am.
So that looks like a computer for the children.
That is what they can use. So that will track anything that the children do. It is individualized. The teachers can record. They can print out anything that they may color. Again, it's a supplement to the quality activities that are going on within the classroom itself. Yes.
All right.
And that software that's on the individual for the computers is also the same, which can connect up here. So if there were a problem situation the teachers wanted to work on and talk to the group about, then as a group, this is how they could utilize the software, and the teacher can use it as a language learning experience to problem solve through how they would get through that situation as a group. And so it kind of just takes it from a one-person activity to a large group activity, again, for the cognitive development and then the social aspect of learning to speak and then feeling confident about how they think through those problems together. So
when my daughter went through preschool up in the DC area, at that time, it was a long, long time ago, they had whole language.
Yes, and so that is what's integrated. So some people try to break apart learning, and we believe all learning should be integrated. So it's very important. You can learn through one activity. You can teach math skills, you can teach science skills, you can teach social skills, and even physical skills as well. So the teachers have a purpose to the learning. And with whole language, it's integrating the language through the sounds, through the spellings, through the writing, whether it's guided writing by the teacher and doing a group message, whether it's individually, they're trying to write a note home to mom to tell her that they love her, whatever that it is, that it's incorporated as the group uses it, as a kid sees it functional. And in order for them to see the function of writing and reading, you have to be doing it, and you have to be doing it in several different ways all throughout the day. We don't ever just write for repetition to write our name over and over and over again. It's not appropriate. But there are times you want to see your name because you made a paper, you did an art paper that involved chalk and painting, and so now you want to say, this is mine. How do I say this is mine? I put my name, and these are the letters to my name. And so we get them to feel that confidence about it, and then that's how we bring it into the situation. The first thing they usually learn are their friends' names after their own, because that's who's important to them. Those are the people they interact with every day. But through a print-rich environment, through morning messages, through communicating and seeing how you communicate as teachers, as children, both together, as letters home to mom and dad, they see all that importance of writing and what it does for them. With reading, it's not just to read to tell me a word. There's a need to read. I want to be able to see what this story says. I want to be able to share these things with my friends or with my parents. And so they have a need to read, and they have the interest books that they want to be in. So that way it incorporates it all together. There's not isolated learning experiences.
So this is full-time pre-K.
Full-time, yes. So
do they take a nap during the day? Or?
So they will have a short, what we call island time, to where if they want to take a book to their island and rest, if needed, but we understand there's different needs. Some children will be fully exhausted by the end of the day, or into a full enriched experience, so it will drown them out. So everybody needs a little downtime. If they fall asleep, they fall asleep. If they don't, they have the ability to look at books, exchange, do puzzles, something that's calming, so that they can last the duration and they're not a mess when they go home from mom or dad because they're so exhausted.
And rested.
Yes.
Very good. Yes. So next is kindergarten?
Nope, that we have hit the final room. We have a couple extra enrichment rooms as well.
That's right.
Yes,
that's
so we hope our next step will be kindergarten and primary.
That's right.
But for right now, we have 2 more enrichment rooms to be able to show as well. Another long hallway.
I like the logo. Showed us. All right.
Bye. So this is where we will house some after-school programs as well. Parents can drop their children and be able to have parent night, date night, and the children will have activities that will go on. It also will be one of our older after school rooms where the children will have their homework, get their snack, and then they will start one of our enrichment areas. But we have different functions for this room. The teachers love it because, again, it's another room they can go to. So we have this is our culinary area where you can see the stations are set up for kid appropriate height for the children. There's children appropriate materials for them to be able to utilize into the cooking lessons.
Wow.
So we have the ability to classrooms, but we also have the ability in our enrichment programs and after school and at night to be able to offer other different cooking lessons with our chef that we do have on staff. So amazing experience. Plus with the food we will be growing in our gardens from outside, we will be able to bring those in and show them that process from planting them, growing them, to bringing them in. But then how do you do all that stuff from scratch? A lot of kids don't see from scratch these days, so they get a good version of how you make things and be able to show them different versions of all kinds of different foods.
Beautiful.
So our state-of-the-art kitchen, from what I heard, is one of the largest in the area that we have. So our chef does have a lot to work with. The full walk-in cooler, everything is even. The ice machine for the day, but she will be able to get it all. We have her here. Okay.
Good job, Cindy. I'm creating menus for the kids daily. We're going to do a morning breakfast for them, a nice little light AM snack. We're going to do lunches, and then a little bit of a heavier evening snack for the kids that are joining us for the extracurriculars that we're going to do. So we're going to post a 6-week cycle menu. They're not going to have to Wi-Fi does. Oh wait, there we go. Yeah, in and out back there.
So again, we still are in the developing stages of it. We haven't got all of our material, but as you can see down here, just a sample from the earlier perspective, how science, technology, engineering, math. It's a different way for the teachers to incorporate these different subject areas, but from the creation side, from their interest, if you are going to build a bridge, how would you build a bridge? What are different bridges? What do they look like? And being able to connect the real life to them and then be able to grow those skills and concepts that they wouldn't just get inside their classroom. It gives them a different place to do experiments, to explore, without having to mess up their room or worry about things that they would typically wouldn't want to do in a normal classroom. So the teachers have a room to expand out and then to go to these areas and implement these activities, again, as another way of just showing and making the brain connections happen, to grow that interest, and then to integrate it throughout their whole day.
So again, if people are interested in coming out today at noon to get another tour, we're at Angel Learning Center. It's an early learning childhood facility in between Pooler and Savannah.
Yes, please come out and see us. We want to be able to have this place full. We have so much to offer for your child. You won't see any other place like it, for sure. So we come around, you get around to the beginning, and we're back to our original stop. If you look out this window, it might be the only place from the side view that you'd be able to see afar of the trees and the rocks. And this is where we will grow our gardens and have where we will develop the animals and how to take care of things. And then before that, the open area you see is a small soccer field. So as we get going, that there will be other sports outside that will be offered to the parents that they will be able to sign up and participate in as well, so that it really is a sense of community through t-ball, soccer, and other sports that the children could be involved in.
So Sherry, thank you for the sneak preview.
Sneak preview.
Yes.
The first time anyone's seen the whole
That's
site.
Right. So anybody watching, come back at 12 or come out here It is 178
Basswood
Drive. So
please come see us.
thank you for watching.